How are you all? In this video, we are going to discuss about the one of the important section, that is one word section, okay, which is very important in gaining 10 out of 10 points in public examination. It is one word section plays a very important role. Most of the students feel that it is very difficult because question may be asked from each and every corner of the lesson, so it is very difficult to remember all the topics, right? So in this video, we are going to discuss about the what are the questions that may that may ask in public examination. Very important topics and very important question that may ask in a public examination. So we'll discuss in this video detailedly from lesson number 1 to lesson number 22. Okay, from each and every lesson we are going to discuss about some important question, at least 10 to 12 questions like that. So with no further delay, let's start the video. The first lesson, that is India relief features, right? India relief features. So in this lesson we have a number of questions. But we are going to discuss only the question that may ask in a public examination. Clear? So which are very important like that. Okay, the first question is, of course, some particular basic question. What is that? The state where sun rises first in India. Okay, the state where sun rises first in India, of course the state is Arunachal Pradesh. Okay, simple logic, that is India like this, right? Okay, simple, imagine that is India. Okay, we have, this is the west direction and this is the east direction, right? We know simple logic, that is sun rises in the east, right? So sun rises in the east, right? So eastern state that may have the first sunrise. Simple logic. So Arunachal Pradesh is the eastern state, what we call easternmost state of India, maybe what call Arunachal Pradesh. So the sun rises first in Arunachal Pradesh and sun sets first in Gujarat, which is the westernmost state. Clear? Sun sets first in Gujarat and the sun rises first in Arunachal Pradesh. Clear? Okay. Next, of course, next question, what we call India lies totally in hemisphere. Okay, India lies totally in the hemisphere. What is asking that? Of course, globe is like that, right? So India is in this what we call in this way, what we call above the what we call equator. Okay, which is the middle line that is going through this, right? Latitude, what we call middle latitude of Earth is nothing but equator. Okay, which divides the Earth into two equal halves. So India lies above the equator. So India lies in the what we call northern hemisphere, which is also basic question. So it may ask in your questions when in a public examination. So it is a very basic, right? So we are discussing, right? Okay, clear? I'm going very fast, right? So try to answer with me because you already studied, right? To just recall all the questions that may important for your questions public examination. Okay, next question is, the length of the coastal line in AP is dash kilometers. Of course, is also very important. Which was already asked in the public exam previously. So that is answer is 972 kilometers. What is the importance here is that the coastline of Andhra Pradesh, of course, the second highest coastal line in India. Okay, Andhra Pradesh has the second highest coastline in India. The first highest coastline in India is Gujarat. Okay, first highest coastline in Gujarat, India is Gujarat, of course. Okay, next important question is what we call a coast of Andhra Pradesh is known as. The coast of Andhra Pradesh is known as, of course, a Sarkar coast, and we have to remember all the remaining coasts like Konkan coast, okay, Maharashtra and what will Goa, okay, Utkal coast, Odisha, and Canada and what we call Canada, Karnataka. Okay, Canada coast, Karnataka, Utkal coast, Odisha, Sarkar coast, what we call Andhra Pradesh, Konkan is nothing but Goa and Maharashtra, and one more coast, that is Coromandel coast, which is in Tamil Nadu, and one more coast, that is Malabar coast. Malabar coast is in Kerala. Okay, present answer is that Sarkar coast. Sarkar coast is known as Andhra Pradesh. We have to remember remaining coast also. Okay, which may be very important. Next, one more important, that is coral reefs are found in. Okay, coral reefs are found in what we call the coral reefs, nothing but the dead animals. Okay, dead animals means what we call the animals. What we call sea animals, right? Sea animals that dead in the ocean, in the sea, they accumulate in one region. Okay, they accumulate in one region. They form coral reefs. Okay, they form some small islands. Okay, we call them as a coral reefs, right? Okay, coral is found in, of course, the Lakshadweep. Okay, now, and this is also known as coral reefs and coral origin. Okay, Lakshadweeps are found. Lakshadweep origin is coral origin, and Andaman Nicobar origin is, of course, volcanic origin. Okay, Andaman Nicobar origin, of course, volcanic origin. But present question is about coral reefs, right? So answer is Lakshadweep. Okay, Lakshadweep is the answer, and Lakshadweep is, of course, coral origin. Okay, remember the question. And one more important, which were asking many times public examination, that is the highest peak in South India. Okay, highest peak in South India is, of course, Anamudai. Okay, Anamudai is the highest peak in South India. And two more topics you have to remember is that not only with highest peak in South India, we have to remember the two words, that is two vertical peaks, that is one is the highest peak in what we call Eastern Ghats and highest peak in Western Ghats. Okay, the highest peak in Eastern Ghats is of course what we call uh, Arkan Yoma. Okay, Arkan Yoma is the highest peak in Eastern Ghats, and Doda Beta is the highest peak in Western Ghats. Okay, Doda Beta is the highest peak in Western Ghats, and Aromakonda. Okay, Aromakonda is in what we call Andhra Pradesh, Chintrapalli district, and which is of course Chintrapalli, Andhra Pradesh lo anamata, which is the highest peak in what we call in the Eastern Ghats. Okay, Aromakonda and Doda Betta. Doda Betta is the highest peak in Western Ghats, and Eastern Ghats we have Aromakonda. Okay, don't forget that. These two are very important. That may ask in public examination. And the only river present in desert is of course Luni. Luni is the only river that present in the desert, of course, which is a Thar desert. Okay, next question, what we call the highest peak in India. Okay, highest peak in India, of course, K2, not the Everest. Everest is lies in Nepal. Okay, but India we have K2. Okay, K2 is the highest peak in India. Clear. Then what we call the land mass bounded by sea on three sides, referred as. Okay, sea on three sides. That means the land that has three sides water and one side land. It is of course known as peninsula. Okay, which is of course known as peninsula. Okay, peninsula means the land that has three sides water and one side land. Then it is called the peninsula. Clear? You're asking same that question. Of course, important. And of course, next question is Ooty. Ooty is located in dash. Okay, Ooty is located in Dash Hills, of course. Ooty is located in what we call Nilagiri Hills. Okay, Ooty is located in Nilagiri Hills. Of course, Ooty is in Tamil Nadu. Okay, Ooty is in Tamil Nadu, is located in Nilagiri Hills. Okay, which is very important. Ooty, of course, which is one of the hill stations in South India. Okay, one of the hill station is South India. Okay, next question, very important question that which was already asked in previous examination. That is Chota Nagpur Plateau is rich in. Okay, Chota Nagpur Plateau is rich in. Of course, we already discussed this topic in the mapping section. Of course, again repeating it, which is rich in minerals. Okay, Chota Nagpur Plateau is rich in minerals. Clear. Next question, and wet and swampy belt of northern region, known locally as. Okay, what we call it as terai. Okay, terai, right? Terai is not called what is swampy. Okay, wet and swampy region is called terai. Okay, next, which were already discussed, no need to about that. Finally, one more important question is that what we call 18th question, the central longitude of India is. Okay, of course, central longitude. Okay, Indian standard, Indian standard time. Okay, or the longitude which is helpful in what we call determining the time in India. That is, of course, 82.5 degrees east longitude. Okay, 82.5 degrees east longitude is very important. 82.5 degrees, that is 82 degrees 13 minutes. Okay, 30 minutes. Okay, 82 degrees 30 minutes, which is very important, and no worry about remaining questions. Fine. Let's go to the next topic. What we call here we have, and north to south India covers the distance. No need to worry about that. It may not ask us. Next question వచ్చేసి, next question, the largest delta in the world. Okay, which is very important. Largest delta in the world, of course, Sundarban Delta. Okay, Sundarban Delta is in what we call the delta is formed between the rivers, right? For example, the river is flowing like this, right? Then the land between the two rivers. Okay, land between the two rivers is known as delta. Okay, land between the two rivers is known as delta or dope. Okay, delta or dope, which is very very fertile. Next question like that only. The dope features dominates the dash between the two rivers. Okay, what we call fertile land. Okay, fertile land, very fertile land, because two rivers are flowing this, right? They what we call the deposit, what we call fertile soil. Okay, okay, from mountains the rivers flow, right? With the flow, the water will what we call bring the most favorable soil, most fertile soil to the this region. So this region very very fertile. Okay, so which is the biggest delta, that is Sundarmas. So West Bengal is very rich in what we call, that is why the reason the West Bengal produces, which is the highest producer of rice in India. Okay, which is why, what is the reason? Because it's southern Sundarban Delta is located in this region, in the West Bengal region. So which is very very fertile land, which has very fertile land. So most of the crops are grown in this area. Okay, next, Dove features, of course, it has fertile land. Okay, Dove is very fertile land. So you're asking same that. Next important, IST is dash hours ahead of GMT. Okay, Greenwich time, how many hours it is ahead means 5.5 hours. Okay, 5.5 hours is ahead. many times in previous examination, the question asked like, for example, in London, if there is time, if the time in London is 12 p.m. For example, time in London is 12 p.m. Then what is the time in India? Okay. For example, time in London is 12 p.m. Then what is the time in India? What's the time in India? Of course, India is 5 and a half hour ahead, right? So of course it is 5:30. Okay, 5:30 p.m. Okay, 5:30 p.m. Of course, it's afternoon 12 o'clock in London. Then in India, definitely time will be 5:30 p.m. Mean evening 5:30. Okay, because what we call IST is ahead of 5 and a half hour of GMT. Okay, London has the line that is GMT. Okay, Greenwich time. Okay, Greenwich Mean Time, that we call it as the standard time in the world. Okay, what is standard time in India? Of course, IST, Indian Standard Time, which is 82.5 degrees east longitude. Okay, don't confuse. It's very important. That may ask in your examination. Okay, and of course we already discussed these topics. Okay, no need to worry about that. And we already discussed all the topic and all the topics. So mountain substrates. Okay, okay, these are some important topics that are very important for your examination. So no need to worry about remaining topics. So let's go to the next topic, next lesson. Try to answer the questions with me. Okay, don't think about the time, just go through the questions. Next question is a very very important question, that is Kudankulam project located in. Okay, Kudankulam project is a nuclear power project which is very confident, what we call controversial. Okay, most of the students, students, of course, local people protest against the Kudankulam power project. This question already asked in public examination previously in 1 word section and 2 mark question also. In 2 mark section also, Kudankulam project, what is the reason for the protest అని చెప్పేసి. So what is the reason for the protest in Tamil Nadu is that this power project creating a lot of pollution, environmental destruction in these local areas. So most of the water in the local rivers are polluted with this project. So most of the students, most of the people in Tamil Nadu and around the Kudankulam power project, they fight against for that, and they protested against the closing of this power plant. Okay, reason for that, simple reason, that is it is creating destruction and it is creating pollution in the local areas. Okay, of course it is polluting the underground water, of course, and the rivers also. That is the reason why the most of the people in this region protested against the Kudankulam power project, which is in Tamil Nadu. Okay, make a little what we call, it may ask in your examination in 2 word section also. So it is very important, so please remember that. Then important question is that, and what, and this not rank is not important. Okay, rank is not important because it is 2013, right? So HDA rank of India is very important. Okay, HDA means, of course, human development index. What is expansion of HDA is very important. Okay, what is the expansion of HDA? Human development index. Okay, which includes all the aspects including income. Okay, per capita income. Along with per capita income, many aspects is included in the HDA. That is like literacy rate. Okay, like what we call life expectancy. Okay, and sex ratio. Okay, all the other aspects like environment, health issues. Okay, like all the things were included along with the per capita income and national income. Okay, that is HDA, which is which is a guidance, which is a symbol for division of the countries between like what we call division of the countries, like developed countries, developing countries, undeveloped countries. How we can say all these things, right, with the help of this HDA index. Okay, with the help of HDA index, we can divide the countries according to the category. Okay, like developed countries, developing countries, and underdeveloped countries. Most what I call very poor countries, like this. Okay, this is very very important. Concept of HDA is very important. Okay, next questions may not be important for examination. Okay, HDA stands and okay, main example may question ask you, that is called example for the public facility. Okay, example of public facility. Okay, what is the example of public facility? Okay, public facility means public what we call facilities like transport. Okay, TV is not public, it is a private. Okay, individual car and bicycle are individual, but transport is very essential for everyone, right? Okay, everyone using transport. Okay, like మన రోడ్స్ కావచ్చు, లేదంటే what we call మనకి డిఫరెంట్ థింగ్స్ ఉన్నాయి కదా, అంటే మనకు ట్రాన్స్పోర్ట్ లైక్ ఆర్టీసీ కావచ్చు, ఇలాంటివి మనం ట్రాన్స్పోర్ట్ కదా. So these are basic needs. Okay, that is provided by the public. But what we call government. Public means here government. Clear? Then one more important, that is what we call gender bias. Okay, what is gender bias here? Okay, what is gender bias? 1 minute. Okay, what is gender bias? Gender bias means nothing but a differentiation. Okay, what we call differentiation between the men and women. Okay, discrimination on women, simply what we call discrimination. Okay, discrimination means vivaksha చూపించడం. Okay, show mean treating women what we call in equal way. Okay, treating women as less. Okay, treating women as less, that is nothing but discrimination. That is means gender bias. Okay, which is very very important. Okay, examples may ask in your exam, HDA may ask in your exams, and gender bias may ask in your exams. Okay, next dash. Okay, of course this may not ask you an examination. And what we call total average. Okay, average per capita income. Okay, average per capita income. What is average per capita income means nothing but what we call average per capita income, nothing but uh, what we call, we can divide with help of these simple, what he is asking, that per capita income. Okay, per capita income is calculated with help of the total national income divided by population. Total national income by population, that is the total per capita income. Clear? Total per capita income can be calculated with help of the total national income divided by population. Okay, which is very very important, don't forget that. Okay, what is per capita income? Per capita income is equals to what we call total national income divided by population. Okay, which is very important formula for you. And next question, what we call uh, this is very important. The rich countries what we call income. Okay, rich countries income, that means what we call 12,600. Okay, 12,600 US dollars the country's per capita income. Then if the country's per capita income is above the 12,600, then those countries are called rich countries, right? Okay, next what we call example, for example of developed country. What is the example of developed country? Of course Britain here, India, China, Pakistan, these are the countries that are developing, right? These are still developing. Okay, and what we call human develop index or human develop what we call report. Okay, human development report is published by UNDP. Okay, which is very very important. UNDP, what is United Nations Development Program? Okay, what is it? UNDP means United Nations Development Program. Okay, United Nations Development Program. Question number, here we have the answer C. Okay, here the answer drilling, no, developing, right? B answer. Okay, United Nations Development Program. Clear? Next, what we call low income countries whose per capita income is less than 1035. Okay, very very important. These values are very important. Like మనకు actually ఈ లెసన్ చాలా ఇంపార్టెంట్. HDA ర్యాంక్, అలాగే at the same time gender bias, at the same time low income countries whose per capita income is less than $1,035. Okay, whose per capita income is less than $1,035, then those countries are called low income countries or underdeveloped countries. Okay, and what we call life expectancy, these are not important. And okay, these are the important questions from this lesson. Okay, these are very important questions. Please go through all the questions that may not explained by me. Okay, if you have time. Okay, these are some important questions. Okay, let's go to the next lesson. Next question is, of course, the financial year starts with the, what you call financial year starts and end with. Okay, simple, that is April and March. I can blindly remember as AM. Okay, morning AM, right? AM, AM, PM. Okay, from April to March. Okay, we have financial year, that is AM, that is April to March. Okay, financial starts with April 1st and ends with 31st March. Okay, simple, April, March. Next, what we call, we have what if the basic needs like health, education are adequate. Okay, these are very important. Basic needs. Okay, basic knowledge say no. What will happen if you want to rise the index, what we HDA ranking, then you have to improve in all the sections, including per capita income, health, education, life expectancy, literacy rate, sex ratio, all the topics. If all the categories are good enough, then the HDA ranks will increase, right? So here our question also asking that if the basic needs like health, education are adequate. Adequate means proper enough. Then what will happen is that of course HDA rank will increase. What will happen? HDA rank will increase. That means we will get the better rank. Okay, HDA rank will be better. Okay, if the all the facilities and all development is what we call overall development. Okay, then what we call, we have to know the example of unorganized sector. We need to have clear discrimination between what is the meaning of what we call example for unorganized sector. We need to classify the two words, that is organized and unorganized. What is organized means? Organized means simply we can differentiate these two words with a simple word, that is a government job and private job. Okay, unorganized means private job and organized means government job. Government job has many benefits like, okay, we have what is security in job. okay, proper wages in the right time wages. Okay, we have many benefits, right? Government job. Then private sector we may not get the salary by time. Okay, we may not grant leaves. Okay, we may not get proper what we call respect from the society. Okay, many benefits from the government jobs. So we call organized as a government job and unorganized as the what we call private job. Okay, simply okay, here what is the example for unorganized sector? Unorganized sector we have, okay, banks, of course government. Okay, and post office of course government, railways of course government, and farmers of small farmers. Okay, farming of small farmers is example for the unorganized sector. Clear? Unorganized sector, which is very important. Okay, so farming of small farmers. Okay, unorganized sector, which is a private or nothing but individual profession. So it is a unorganized sector. Okay, here husk is an example of her. Okay, husk is an example for means what we call here husk is nothing but what we call, we have paddy, right? When you grind the paddy, what we call remaining part will happen what we call shell of the paddy will nothing but husk. Okay, shell of the paddy is nothing but husk anamata ante pottu. Okay, husk is nothing but what we call husky scheme, uh, uh, what we call intermediate good. Okay, intermediate good or unfinished good, of course. Okay, intermediate good, intermediate goods, because it is not directly used by us, so it may use when make it as other title. For example, a cloth. Okay, for example, thread is intermediate good because thread will be used in stitching the cloth. Okay, for example, cloth. Okay, cloth will be the intermediate good because it may be used for the stitching, what dresses, shirts, pants, like that, right? The items which are not ready, okay, which are in the middle stage, then these goods are called intermediate goods. Clear? Then here the example is asked, maybe in examination we may ask in different way, but we have to we have to be in clear that the items which are in the middle stage, okay, items which are in the middle stage, well, then we call it as a intermediate goods. Okay, intermediate goods, and which are the which are produced, which are in the final stage, then we call it as a final goods. Clear? Then after that we have, and what we call examples. Okay, example for the service sector. Okay, example for service sector, we have three sectors, right? One is agriculture sector, and service sector, and other is what we call industrial sector. Agriculture, of course, farmers. Okay, like manago dairy farming and what like poultry, and these are includes in the agriculture. Agriculture sector means simply the activities which are related to nature. Okay, activities which are related to nature, then these activities are called agricultural activities. Then after that we have service sector. Okay, service sector means the activities which are related to service. Okay, which is related to service like teacher, engineer, doctor. These are the main sectors. These are the provisions that are related to the service sector. Then finally we have industrial, what we call industrial sector. That means this directly involves in the production of the goods. Okay, like for example, bikes or what we call mobiles or electronics, like different gadgets. Okay, all these includes in the industrial sector. Okay, the activities related to industrial sector means they produce different items like mechanical items or electronic items. So we call them it as a industrial sector. And in middle we have service sector. These sector won't produce any type of goods, but it provides the what we call information like and it provides services. Okay, so this sector is called service sector. And in first category we have agriculture, which is directly related to the nature. Clear? So here answer will be transport C. And fishing is related to agriculture because it is related to nature. And bricks making, of course, related to industries. And mining, of course, related to nature, right? So it is all the topics are related to the what we call agriculture sector. But transportation related to service sector, but because transport won't produce any type of goods, but it just provides services, right? So answer is C. Okay, next question. Share of sector, and these are the question not me important for your examination public. So we'll skip all the questions. Next question here is that here prime economic activity in India. Okay, the questions are somewhat important. That is, the prime economic activity in India is, okay, prime economic activity in India means that is very important economic activity in India. Of course, that is agriculture. Okay, agriculture is very important. Agriculture is backbone of Indian economy. Most of the Indian people are doing agriculture. So agriculture is very very important. But most of the share, okay, most of the GDP in Indian agriculture, what we call Indian economy receives from the service sector. Okay, don't confuse. Very important economic activity is agriculture. but most of the share that is giving to the Indian economy is nothing but service sector. Okay, most of the share is giving by service sector, but most important sector is of course agriculture. Clear. Next important question is that of course mm, this is not a feature of organized sector. Okay, we already discussed, right, what is organized and unorganized. Simply we can divide these two sectors as what we call government job and a private job. Okay, here is asking that they are asking that this is not a feature of organized sector. Okay, what is asking? Not a feature of organized sector. Okay, not a feature means working hours are fixed, paid leaves and salaries are fixed, exploited work. Okay, organized sector, because organized sector is government job, right? Government job has fixed hours of time and fixed what we call paid leaves, of course fixed salaries, and they won't exploit the workers. Okay, they won't exploit the workers, and workers will get the respect from the society, of course from the what we call staff. So exploited work is not feature of the organized sector, it is a feature of what we call unorganized sector. Clear. Next important question may be GDP stands for, very important. Okay, GDP stands for gross domestic product. Okay, be answer gross domestic product. GDP means nothing but the total value of all final goods and services that is produced in a country during a year. Okay, total value of all the goods and services that are produced in a country during a particular year is known as what we call GDP. Okay, next important question is nothing but uh, unorganized workers are more in their sector. Of course, they are more in what we call primary sector. Okay, unorganized sectors more in primary sector, that means agriculture sector. In agriculture sector, most of the workers are, of course, unorganized. Okay, then after that, we have what we call these are the questions that may mean what we call related from the present syllabus. So we need not to worry. Okay, we have to understand what are the important difference between the what we call what we organized sector and unorganized sector, and we should have clear idea about what is HDI, and we should be clear about GDP, and we should be clear about what we call different sectors. Okay, service sector, agriculture sector, and industrial sector. Then the questions that may ask from this lesson is very easy. Okay, apart from that. Okay, next let's go to the next topic, that is next lesson. Okay, next lesson, that is fourth lesson, climate of India. Okay, climate of India is of course very important. Climate of India. So from this lesson we'll get most of the questions from the northeastern monsoons. Okay, northeastern monsoons. Okay, northeastern monsoons means nothing but the monsoons that come from the northeast. Okay, northeast monsoons like this. So these northeastern monsoons gives most of the bulky rains to what Tamil Nadu. Okay, northeastern monsoons give bulky rainfall to this Tamil Nadu region. But southwest monsoons, okay, southwest monsoons will give bulky rainfalls. Okay, southwest monsoons. Okay, this is south direction, right? Southwest monsoons will give bulky rainfalls to Kerala. Okay, southwest monsoons will give bulky rainfalls to what we call Kerala, and northeastern monsoons will give bulky rainfalls to Tamil Nadu. Don't confuse, these two questions are very important. Okay, next what we call very important questions. Period of southwest monsoon is, okay, what is the period of southwest monsoons? The period of southwest monsoon is nothing but June to September. Okay, June to September, nothing but rainy, what we call it as rainy season, right? Okay, from June 2nd, okay, from June 2nd to September. Okay, we will get the southwest monsoons. Okay, southwest monsoon, this is the what we call present, we have southwest monsoons. So we are getting some rain, right? Little more, some amount of rain. But because with the help of the northeastern monsoons, okay, and with the help of northeastern monsoons, Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, Rayalaseema district, okay, Rayalaseema regions like us. So in Rayalaseema regions, we'll get the rainfall. Okay, and what we call the monsoon burst or break first take place in. Okay, of course, this question is same, of course. So monsoons will first broke in which state? Of course, Kerala. Okay, because the southwest monsoons reaches India first in Kerala. So which is the first place that took place that broke the monsoons, of course, in the state of Kerala. Okay, in June 2nd. Of course, June 2nd or 1st. Okay, it may vary from year to year. So for the first time, the monsoons will burst in the state of Kerala. Okay, it's very important. It was asked previously in public examination. Don't forget. Please remember this. The Kerala is the first state that receives the southwest monsoons. Of course, which is the state which receives the highest amount of rainfall from the southwest monsoons, and of course from the northeast monsoons. The state of Tamil Nadu will get the highest amount of rainfall. Okay, and of course from the southeast monsoons, Tamil Nadu will not get the will gets very little amount of rainfall, right? So you have to remember all these things, which is very very important for your public examination. That may question asked from this lesson, maybe from this topic only. Okay, next question, of course. Okay, very important. That is major crop of Rabi season. Okay, what is the major crop of Rabi season is nothing but wheat. Okay, what is the major crop of Rabi season is wheat. What is the major crop of Kharif season is of course rice. Okay, what is the major crop of Kharif season is rice, and what is the major crop of Rabi is wheat. Clear. Then what we have an important question. Of course, the southern peninsula is surrounded by, of course, this is a very valid discussion in the first lesson, right? What is a peninsula? Peninsula is nothing but the land which surrounds water on three sides, and one side land, that is called what we call peninsula. Okay, southern peninsula is surrounded by, of course, what we call seas. Okay, southern peninsula of India is surrounded by seas, right? One what we call, we have Bay of Bengal on the what we call east direction, and Arabia Sea on the west direction, and the Indian Ocean on the south direction. So we have three sides water and three sides seas. So it is surrounded by seas, of course. And dash plains experience dry and hot winds. Okay, what we call what we call dash plains. Okay, students, that is nothing but northern plains. Okay, northern plains will experience the dry and hot winds. Okay, dry and hot winds are also known as what we call loop. Okay, which is very important. This northern plain is not important, but dry and hot winds are also called loop. Okay, dry and hot winds are also called loop. Okay, so this is very important. That means dry and hot winds are also called loop. Okay, what are called loop? What is called loop means dry and hot winds, right? And one more important question, that is pre-monsoon shower helps in the ripening of mangoes. Okay, pre-monsoon shower also known as mango showers in Andhra Pradesh. Okay, pre-monsoon showers are also known as mango showers in Andhra Pradesh, which is very important. Okay, please remember that. Then after that, what we call 2013 latest conference of IPCC was held at. Okay, IPCC was held at in which area, which place is the Warsaw. Okay, what is Warsaw? We already discussed in mapping section, that is world mapping section. Warsaw is the capital of Poland. Okay, Warsaw is the capital of Poland. Okay, please, if you don't look at the what we call the previous lesson, please go through the lesson, that is world mapping section. Okay, which may help you in writing many more questions, right? Let's say no. Okay, one topic will relate to other topic in social especially, so we have to look at each and every topic. So please go through the previous videos that may uploaded in 15 days earlier. So go through it. Okay, 2013 latest conference for IPCC was held in Warsaw, that is capital of Poland. Okay, interplan planned conference of climate change. Okay, inter planetary IPCC means that is inter government panel on climate change. Okay, intergovernmental panel on climate change, that is IPCC. Expansion is also important. 2013 latest conference was held in Warsaw, that is capital of Poland. Okay, next important question, that is what these are not important. These are the questions that are deleted in the lesson present topic. So India is almost divided into two equal halves by the Tropic of Cancer. Okay, so by the Tropic of Cancer, that is a line passes through India. Okay, there is a line that passes through India, that is Tropic of Cancer, which divides India into two equal halves. Okay, Tropic of Cancer. Next, one more important question, that is one of the human activities that contribute to the global warming. Okay, one of the human activities that is contributing to the global warming is, of course, that is deforestation. Okay, deforestation is the reason for the global rise of global temperature, that is global warming. So here answer is nothing but deforestation. Okay, then these human activities that are contributing to global warming, we call them as a AGW. Okay, we call them as a AGW. That means anthropogenic global warming. Okay, anthropogenic global warming means the activities that are causing destruction to the global warming. Okay, that are the reason for the global warming, which is done through humans. We're called anthropogenic global warming, AGW. Clear? Okay, then next important question, that is nothing but German word, that is trade means. Okay, what is the meaning of trade? Okay, trade means what we call track. Okay, trade means a track. Okay, trade means a track, and trade winds, we call winds as a trade winds. And what is the meaning of trade means track? Okay, it is a German word. Okay, okay, what is it? It is a German word. Okay, next important question, we already discussed. Lu means hot winds. We already discussed it, and these are the important questions. And Mansons were come from the which what we call which language means, that is Arab. Okay, Mansoon means Arab. Clear. These are the important ones from this lesson. What are the major topics that may ask in an exam is nothing but about the north and the east. North east monsoons, of course, southwest monsoons, which is very important, and from the AGW, that is global warming. From the topic that is global warming, and from the monsoons. From the topic monsoons, the questions that may ask in your examination. So please read carefully from these two topics, that is monsoons topic, and of course the topic of global warming. Okay, these two are very very important for examination point of view. Okay, next lesson nothing but about the Indian rivers and water resources. Okay, in this lesson, what are the important question means? That is a very important question, that is a river that has a twin sources. Okay, river that has a twin sources, that is Ganga. Okay, Ganga has two sources, that is Bhagirath and Alkananda. Okay, Bhagirath and Alkananda are the two sources of river Ganga. Okay, that is Bhagirath and Alkananda, the two sources that join together at point, that is Deva Prayaga. Okay, Deva Prayaga to form river Ganga. Okay, river Ganga starts from the region that is what we call here Deva Prayaga, which is joining point of two sources of Ganga river, that is Alkananda and Bhagirath. Clear. Next of the important question, the most of the peninsular rivers flows towards the east. Okay, what is the reason? We already discussed in the lesson number 1, that is the what we call eastern Ghats. Okay, eastern Ghats, what we call, are somewhat lower than the western Ghats. Okay, western Ghats are what we tilted towards eastern Ghats, so to tilted towards eastern side. So the rivers that flows in peninsular region are flows through the towards the what we call east. Okay, most of the rivers that flows towards the east, because the region that is in the western Ghats is somewhat higher than the eastern Ghats. Okay, eastern Ghats region are somewhat lower than the western Ghats region. So most of the rivers flows towards the what we call Bay of Bengal. Okay, Deccan Plateau is slanting towards east. Okay, simple reason is that what we call Deccan Plateau is slanting towards the east. That is the reason why the most of the rivers in peninsular region flows towards the Bay of Bengal. Okay, next what we call largest peninsular river in India. Sorry, largest peninsular river in South India. Of course, peninsular, what we call rivers that flows in peninsular region. So the largest peninsular river is nothing but Godavari. Okay, we already discussed in the mapping section this question. So I already said that mapping section will help you in writing one word answers also. Okay, largest peninsular river of Godavari. Okay, largest river in South India, of course, Godavari. So these two questions are important, that is Godavari. And one more thing important is that Betwa, Kane, Son, Chambal are tributaries of. Okay, Betwa, Ton, Chambal are, these are tributaries of course, Ganga river. Okay, very important. That may ask you find odd one out like that. So Betwa, Kane, Son, Chambal are the tributaries of river Ganga. Okay, next Dash is not the tributary of Indus. Okay, Dash is not the tributary of Indus. Nothing but we have Yamuna is not the what we call tributary of Indus. Yamuna is a tributary of Ganga. Okay, tributary of Ganga. So what are tributaries of Indus? That is Indus river. What is Sindhu river? Of course. Uh, what we call, we have Jhelum, Ravi, okay na, and Bias, Sutlej and China. Okay, Ravi, Jhelum, Ravi, Bias, Sutlej and Chenab are these 5 tributaries of what we call river Indus. These also we discuss in the mapping section. Okay, this topic also we discuss in mapping section. Please go through the topic. Okay, I'm saying again, don't forget the, don't waste the time, and don't what we call lose the confidence, and don't think about the time, that is wait about the 1 hour. Please go through and each and every topic and each what we call a section, so that we'll get a clarity about what the question may ask in an examination, and we'll get the what's called interlink connection, so we'll remember a topics very clearly. Clear. Next, what we call, next topic is lower portion of Tungabhadra basin. Okay, this question is what we call eliminated from the present topic. Then Hawaii Bazaar. Hawaii Bazaar, of course, what is the Hawaii Bazaar is in which state? Which is in Maharashtra. Okay, so which is somewhat important, not very very important. And we Alakananda and Bhagirathi are join at what we call, we already discussed, right? Deva Prayaga. Okay, Deva Prayaga, they both Alakananda and Bhagirathi, who are the twin sources of what we call Ganga river. Okay, next Brahmaputra enters India in the state. Okay, Ganga Brahmaputra enters India in the state of what we call Arunachal Pradesh. Okay, of course, it's very important in Indian river. What call, we have Arunachal Pradesh here. So what will Brahmaputra will start and enter India here. Okay, Arunachal Pradesh. Okay, in Arunachal Pradesh, the river Brahmaputra enters India. Next, Himalayan rivers are, of course, all Himalayan rivers are, of course, perennial in nature. Okay, perennial in nature, not A and B. So don't confuse that. Himalayan rivers, of course, they are perennial in nature. Okay, Dihang. Okay, Dihang. Dihang is a tributary of which river? Brahmaputra river. Okay, Dihang is a tributary of which river? Of course, Brahmaputra river. Okay, and Dash is called Sangpo in Tibet. Okay, Dash is also called Sangpo in Tibet. Of course, is again it is Brahmaputra. Okay, what is the other name for the Brahmaputra is Sangpo. Okay, what is the other name for Brahmaputra is nothing but Sangpo. Okay, next, the glacier of Bhagirathi is one of the source of Ganga. Okay, glacier. Okay, what is the glacier of what we call Bhagirathi? Gangotri. Okay, Gangotri is a glacier that forms the Bhagirathi river. Okay, then after that the Bhagirathi river will join with Alkananda at Devaprayag to form river Ganga. Clear? Then what we call, we have many more questions here. These are not important for examination. Um, these are not important. These are not important. So no need to worry about that. And counter trenches. Okay, this question may be important. The counter trenches are done on the hill slopes to control what we call erosion of soil. Okay, control the erosion of soil on the hill regions. Mean small, layers and small what we call dunks. Okay, small trenches are dug in the hill slopes because the soil will not erode from this. Okay, to prevent the soil erosion and to prevent the what we call flow and what we call flow of fertile soil from the mountains to lower regions. So they dug counter trenches. Okay, they dug the counter trenches in this region. Okay, in the slope region. Next important question, and these are not important. Okay, you can skip all the questions. And okay, next, these are not important. These are not important. Okay, these are the important questions. The birthplace of Krishna River. Okay, birthplace of Krishna River, of course, which is in here what we call the Mahabaleshwaram. Okay, Mahabaleshwaram is what we call birthplace of Krishna River. Okay, Mahabaleshwaram is the birthplace of Krishna River, and birthplace of Godavari is, of course, in the region of Nasik. Okay, Nasik Trayambak. Trayambak Nasik is the what we call source. What we call birthplace of Godavari River. Okay, na? Madam, what we call Nasik Trayambak. These are some important rivers that may ask only in this lesson. You may expect the questions from questions related to what we call rivers. Okay, you will expect the question from the river section. So don't worry, and all the question may be asked from the rivers only. Okay, except from this. Okay, let's look into the next lesson. That is sixth lesson. That is people. Okay, in this lesson we will get important question that is very important, that is female literacy rate as per the 2011 census. Okay, as per the 2011 census, what is a female literacy is nothing but 65.46%. Okay, 65.46%, and total literacy is nothing but about 74.04%. Okay, these two are very important, 74.04%, and female literacy rate is nothing but 65.46%. Okay, then fertility rate. What is fertility rate? Okay, we already discussed this topic, fertility rate and literacy rate. And what is literacy rate? The person who are above the 6 years, those who can write and read, then they are called literates. Okay, and the fertility rate means that is nothing but women that can give. Okay, what we call capacity of women in her lifespan ఫర్ బర్త్స్. ఓకే, అంటే ఎంతమంది ఆమె లైఫ్ స్పాన్లో ఎంతమందికి బర్త్ ఇవ్వగలదు. ఓకే, అలాంటి దాన్ని కాల్ ఇట్ యాజ్ ఎ ఫెర్టిలిటీ రేట్. ఓకే, సో ప్రజెంట్ ఇండియాస్ ఫెర్టిలిటీ రేట్ నథింగ్ బట్ అబౌట్ 2.9%. ఓకే, 2.9%, 2.9 ఉంటుందన్నమాట. షియర్ ఇస్ వెరీ ఇంపార్టెంట్. ఓకే, లిటరసీ రేట్ అండ్ fertility rates are very important. And next after that, we have what we call most populous country in the world, of course, America, China. Then after that, India. And what we call, these are not important. And the first complete census was held in. Okay, first complete census was held in what we call in the year in the year 1881. Okay, in the year 1881, first census was what we call taken, and a complete census was taken. From that onwards, we are getting calculus, getting a census in every 10 years. Okay, for every 10 years we are getting calculus, but in 2021 we have to calculate this year, but because of COVID-19, census was delayed and it was postponed. After that, what we call, these are more important. And plains have high density of population as they have dash abundant rainfall. Okay, now what is the reason for the high density of population in plain regions? Okay, plain regions, what the reason? Of course, because what we call fertile soil. Okay, have fertile soil, and of course they have abundant rainfall. Okay, they have fertile soil, of course abundant rainfall. Because of this reason, most of the plain regions have the high density of population. Okay, their state has the highest density of population. Of course, which state has the highest density of population? The state, nothing but Bihar. Okay, Bihar has the highest density of population. And which state has the lowest density of population is nothing but Sikkim. Okay, Sikkim has the lowest density of population. Highest density of population has in Bihar. Okay, highest populous state in India is of course Uttar Pradesh. Okay, next. And India's population has been steadily increasing. Okay, it is increasing every year, right? It is increasing every year, so it is steadily increasing. Clear? Then the population census is taken for every 10 years. Okay, for every 10 years population census will be taken. Next important question, what we call potential elements, working age group. Okay, what is called working age group? The working age group is nothing but from the year, what we call here, from 14 to 59 years. Okay, actually 14 to 59 is the working age, but actually the working age group for every, what we call, for every section, that is nothing but 18 to 59 years. Okay, 18 to 59 is the real working age group, but after 14 years one can do job, but what we call some exceptions are there. They cannot do job in hazardous industries, and they cannot do jobs in dangerous places. So they have to they can work in a small, I mean what we call home, I mean what we call some liberal works, like that, what we call I mean hotels, like that. But they are not allowed to do work in dangerous factories. Okay, but everyone can do job after 18 years anywhere. Okay, if they wish. Okay, but actually working age group is nothing but 14 to 59 years. Okay, remember that. Then population density is calculated. Okay, then what is the meaning of population density? The population density means that nothing but the number of population in a square kilometers. Okay, what is the number of what we call number of population? Okay, I mean what is total population in a square kilometers? We call it as a population density. Okay, we call it as a population density. And then after that we have trend. Okay, this is important, very important. Dash state has the positive sex ratio. Okay, dash state has positive sex ratio, nothing but Kerala. Okay, Kerala has the positive sex ratio. Okay, Kerala state has the positive sex ratio, only state. Okay, positive sex ratio means nothing but mean number of females for 1000 males. Simply the number of females for 1000 males is known as sex ratio. And after that we have what we call, these are the important questions. There are no important questions regarding this topic. These are the okay. These are the only, I mean, important question. I mean, literacy rate nothing but 74.04%. Okay, most of the questions that asked from this question, from this lesson in public exam is nothing but about the literacy rate. Okay, about the fertility rate, and about the population density, and about the what we call census. Okay, these are the four important topics. One is that I mean literacy, very important literacy rate, that is literacy of women, female in 2011 census, that is 65.46%, and total literacy rate is nothing but 74.04%. These two are very important. Then after that about the what we call population density, then from the what we call sex ratio. Okay, then from the sex ratio, which has the positive sex ratio, nothing but state of Kerala has the positive sex ratio. Then after that the question may be asked from the what we call fertility rate. Okay, then the question may be asked from the what we call here census. Okay, these are the four important core topics that question may arise from this lesson in one word section. Okay, let's go to the next lesson. Okay, next lesson, that is nothing but chapter 7, that is people and settlement. Okay, in this lesson we'll get questions from only one topic, that is what we call types of cities and airports. These are two very important topics that may question ask from, I mean that may question from this lesson. That is what we have different types, right? Different cities, like what we call mega city, metropolitan city. So these are very important, so do not worry about other types. So the question that is simply we have to understand is nothing but what we call what is mega city. Mega city is nothing but the population of the city is more than 10 millions. Okay, okay, what we call more than 10 millions. 10 millions nothing but 1 crore. Okay, the cities which has more than 1 crore population, then that is called what we call mega city. Okay, the city's population is what we call between 1 million to 10 millions. Okay, 1 millions to 10 millions, then the city is known as what, like a metropolitan city. Okay, the city population is more than 1 lakh to 10 lakhs, 1 lakh to 10 lakhs, then the city is called what we call a first class city. Okay, first class city. First class city means nothing but population is more than what we call in between what we call 1 lakh to 10 lakhs. Okay, then what is called metropolitan city means 10 lakhs to what we call 100 lakhs, nothing but 1 crore. Okay, between 10 lakhs to 1 crore is nothing but what we call metropolitan city, or 1 million to 10 millions. Okay, 1 million to 10 millions, that is population nothing but metropolitan city. Then after that, more than 10 millions or more than 1 crore, it is called mega city. Okay, these are three key differences. Then we have to give examples for all the topics. That is what we call Mumbai, Kolkata, Delhi are the mega cities, and metropolitan cities nothing but Hyderabad, Chennai. These are metropolitan cities. First class cities like Guntur. Okay, like what we call, of course, the population is more than 1 lakh. Okay, more the population is more than 1 lakh. Then Vijayawada. These are the topics. These are the cities called first class cities. Okay, these are the key examples that may ask in your examination. So no need to worry. Okay, and what's capital of Andhra Pradesh? Capital of Andhra Pradesh, of course, that is Amaravati. And here asking that the largest port city in Andhra Pradesh, of course, Vishakhapatnam. Okay, and the question may ask you what is called Suvarnabhumi airports. Okay, airports. Okay, different airports we already discussed in the mapping section. Suvarnabhumi International Airport is located in Thailand. Okay, and Heathrow International Airport, London. Okay, Cairo International Airport, Egypt. And what we call Indira Gandhi International Airport, Delhi. Rajiv Gandhi International Airport, what we call Hyderabad. Okay, then after that, Chhatrapati Shivaji International Airport, Maharashtra, and Chennai International Airport, Chennai. Of course, after what we call Gannavaram Airport in Vijayawada. Then after that, we have Renugunta Airport in Tirupati. Okay, these are some important airports that we have to remember. We already discussed in the mapping section. Please go through that. I'm saying again and again. And what we call one more topic is that important copies. Okay, what is copy? Copy means a temporary settlements or of migrants. Okay, what we call copy is a temporary settlement. Okay, temporary settlement. Okay, remember that. And one more important topic is that what we call uh, okay, these are not important. And important aerodrome. Okay, aerodrome means the city which has airport. Okay, this aeroplane, what we call airport city. Okay, simple aer, aerodromes means nothing but airport city. Okay, airport city is, we call it as a aerodromes. Okay, aerodromes. And then after that, very important question, unauthorized colonies. Okay, unauthorized colonies are called juggi jopti. Okay, juggi jopti we call it as unauthorized colonies. Okay, slums we call it as unauthorized colonies. We call juggi joptis or slums. Okay, and then after that, we use symbol, that is national capital, as with the star. Okay, national capital will be what we call what is symbol for national capital is nothing but star, and the symbol for the state capital is nothing but a black or large dot. Okay, dot. Okay, and we are here giving, asking for the example of metropolitan city. Okay, million plus cities, and we call it also million plus cities. All are the metropolitan cities. There is Ahmedabad, Hyderabad, and Chennai. These are metropolitan cities. Okay, please go through all the examples for the mega cities, metropolitan cities. Again, repeating, mega cities, of course, Delhi, Kolkata, and Mumbai. Metropolitan cities, of course, Chennai, Hyderabad, Ahmedabad, and Vishakhapatnam. These are the metropolitan cities. Okay, don't forget. Next lesson is about what we call eighth lesson, that is chapter 8, people and migration. People and migration. Then here we have some important topics regarding the migration. Okay, migration topics. Okay, what are the reason for migration? What are the reason for the migration of women? Okay, most of the students. Okay, education factors. Okay, here important is nothing but the migration commonly occur from. Okay, migration is commonly occur from, of course, from the rural areas to urban areas. Okay, from rural to, from villages to towns. Okay, most of the migration is from villages to towns. Okay, of course. And we have different what we call migrations are there: seasonal migrations, international migration, internal migration. Seasonal migration means in a particular season, if the work is available, then people move from one place to another place. That is called seasonal migration. Internal migration means nothing but within the state or within the district. Okay, if they migrate, then it's called internal migration. And international migration is nothing but within what we call it, within mean not I mean out of the country. Okay, out of the country means that if you cross the border of India, then it's called international migration. Okay, now then it's called international migration. These are the different types. Sugarcane cutting is a what we call seasonal migration. Okay, sugarcane cutting is seasonal migration because sugarcane cutting work will be available once or twice in a year, so it is called seasonal migration. Okay, just after that we have one more important, that is uh, of course what we call, these are not important for the examination. And let's look for the important questions. The money that is sent by the migrants, okay, and the money that is sent by the migrants from the international, for example, if the people, if the family members are working in abroad, that means in Kuwait or America, if the person will send amount to the family, then that amount is known as remittance. Okay, the amount that is sent by the relatives from foreign countries to what we call local, what we call mother country, then it's called the remittance. Okay, then it's called remittance. Then one more important question that may ask from the examination from this lesson is nothing but what we call the female reports. Okay, females report dash as a common reason for migration, marriage. Okay, marriage is the common reason for the migration of female workers or female persons. Okay, and grown up children are not able to continue their continue at their parents and new workplaces because their studies. Okay, because of their studies they cannot migrate from one place to another place regularly, because the studies will disturb, right? Okay, what we call in this lesson, the what we call writers are saying that what we call the studies are merely what we call very severely affecting with the migration. Clear? These are the important questions. The only topic the only question that we ask from this lesson is that what we call what are the advantages of migration, what is seasonal migration, what is international migration, and what are the drawbacks. Okay, what are the disadvantages that is bring the female migration, and what are the problems that may bring from the migration to the children. Okay, these are the questions that may ask in your examination. These are very important crucial topics, so not to worry about the different what we call the remaining ones. And one more question, of course, that is unskilled semi-skilled workers migrate to oil exporting countries like. Okay, most of the unskilled workers, the work what we call West Asia. Okay, like West Asia. Okay, in the studies we have different countries like what we call Qatar, Kuwait, Saudi. What we call these are countries that there are main occupation is nothing but one main what economic activity is nothing but oil exporting. So unskilled workers, especially from India, the most of the workers what were workers are migrated to these countries because they require only what's called physical strength, not the mental, not the what called skill labor. So these people migrate in search of job to West Asian countries, that is oil extraction countries like Saudi, Qatar. Okay, these are also important, and these are the important topics that may ask you in examination. Okay, no need to worry. Next lesson is about what we call ninth lesson, that is Rampur, a village economy. In this lesson you may get some little what we call questions. Okay, what may be that we already discussed, right? Agriculture sector, service sector, and industry sector, these are very important. Okay, what are agriculture, what are service, what are industries, that we have to give examples. And of course then after that we have to remember the what is physical capital and what is fixed capital. Okay, what is physical and working capital. Okay, physical and fixed both are same, but what is physical or fixed means, that means if the if the good or if the thing that gives services to you for more than for the more than 10 years. Okay, for the more than 10 years, then it is called the physical capital or fixed capital. If the things are the works that it gives for short term benefits. Okay, short term benefits we call it the working capital. For example, a buffalo, a building, a land. Okay, these are we call as a physical capital or fixed capital, because buildings or missions will give service to the company or the two people for the long time. So it's called physical capital. And working capital example, for example, salaries. Okay, for every month you have to pay salaries. Okay, for example, electricity bill, we have to pay electricity bill for every month. So it gives a benefit for a short time, right? So these are called working capital. Okay, these are very very important. Okay, we have to understand what is physical capital, we have to understand what is working capital. Working capital and physical both are very very important. Okay, these are very important, so we have to play meaning we have to give the example for both things, physical and working capital. Then after that we have HYV seats, high yielding variety seeds. That is a part of green revolution. High yielding variety seeds. Okay, which gives a very high amount of production from the little amount of land. Okay, then what we call then after that physical capital, what we call physical capital here, machines, tube wells, tools, all these are physical capital which will give service to for a long time, right? So these are physical capital we can say without doubt. And one more thing is that more than two crops that grown in the same piece of land during a year is called multiple cropping. Okay, multiple cropping, more than two crops. Okay, more than two crops that is grown in a year, then we call it as a multiple crop. Then after that we have one more important question, that is what we call which of the following is not a fixed capital? We already discussed, right? Fixed or physical capital is the same. A fixed capital means which will give service for a long time. Okay, here fertilizers, pesticides will disappear for a will short time, but tools and machines will give service for a long time, right? Tools and machinery are fixed capital, remaining or what we call working capital. Okay, then after that we have one more important question, that is what we call non-farming activities. Okay, non-farming activities here, transport is a non-farming activity, shopkeeping is a non-farming activity, and small manufacturing is of course is a non-farming activity. And here answer is nothing but all D. Okay, the answer D is right answer. Small manufacturing, transport, and shopkeeping, these three are the non-farming activities. Clear? Then final important question is nothing but dash is the main factor of production in agriculture sector. Okay, dash is the main factor of production in agriculture sector. Of course, the capital. Capital is very important not only in agriculture sector but in every sector. The capital, of course, money is very important, right? So money is very important. Then after that 36th lesson, that is 36th question, last question, that is very important, of course. Raw materials and money is called. Okay, raw materials and money is called, we call them it as a what we call a working capital. Okay, raw materials and money is called working capital. It's not fixed or permanent capital. So working capital is nothing but which will use for a short time and which will disappear in a short time. Okay, but machines, buildings, land, this will give and this will provide long term service, right? So they are called the fixed capitals. To play what we call, should clear about what is the difference between the what we call fixed capital and working capital. Clear? Without that classification, without that particular differentiation, it is very difficult to write the question that may from this lesson. Okay, these are the important lesson, that is working capital, physical capital, and the different categories, that agriculture, service, and industries in agriculture. Okay, these are very important, that may ask from this lesson. Okay, next look into the last lesson, that is 10th lesson, that is globalization. Okay, globalization here in this lesson, removing barriers by the government. Okay, what is called removing barriers by the government? That is liberalization. Okay, liberalization means nothing but removing the trade barriers by the government. We call it as a liberalization. Okay, then after that we have what we call MNC. What is MNC? Multinational company. Choose to set up a production in the area of. MNCs choose the areas which has economic sustainability, cheap goods, and cheaper labor resources and scenic beauty. Okay, which is not of course these are very important, and cheap labors are very, of course, very important. I think answer will be of course cheap labor resources. Okay, cheap labor resources is the reason and where the most of the MNCs will shut up. Okay, of course that after that dash is the process of integration of country, very important. Globalization. Okay, globalization is the process of integration of countries. Okay, process of integration of countries is nothing but globalization. Okay, we call it as a globalization. Okay, and after that we have what we call not important. It's not important. And okay, these are important. Liberalization in India was started in around. Okay, liberalization was started in the year, of course, in the year 1991. Okay, in the year 1991, liberation was started. Okay, in the year 1991, liberation was started in India. Okay, after that, very important, that is CES. Okay, CES means special economic zones. Okay, special economic zones, nothing but they're set up by government. Okay, government set up the CES. Okay, what are the reason for CES? CES means nothing but a area in which most of the benefits will be given to the companies. Okay, CES is nothing but which is a region, which is a place where the most of the companies were encouraged to set up. Okay, companies were encouraged to set up in this region for the development of the locality development కోసం గవర్నమెంట్ సెటప్ చేసినటువంటి what we call agency is nothing but we call it as a CES, special economic zone. Okay na? Then what is the aim of WTO? What is WTO? Nothing but World Trade Organization. Okay, what is WTO? WTO means World Trade Organization. Okay, what is the aim is that nothing but liberalize international trade and restriction. I mean, one liberation of international trade is the reason for the. It is the main aim of the WTO. Okay, and impact of globalization is very important for your 8 mark question, of course. Okay, impact of globalization is of course what we call greater choice and high quality. Okay, greater choice and high quality is the main what impact of the globalization. Okay, then after that the question may be asked from the topics here, nothing but what we call different topics are there, but what are the important that may ask in exams, what is called. Okay, what are the advantages? Okay, this may ask in your examination. I mean, 2 mark question are of course 4 mark section. Advantage of arrival of multinational company. Okay, already discussed, right? Impact of global. I mean, impact of globalization or impact of the multinational companies. Of course, employment opportunity of people, costly goods available at lower prices, and transportation facilities. All of the above are the reason and are the impacts or advantages of the MNCs. Okay, MNCs will provide I mean employment opportunities, and of course the costly goods will be available at lower cost, lower prices, and of course transportation facilities will also be developed in this region. So this is the reason, these are advantages of the MNCs. Okay, then of course I mean of course we are discussing the first question, the I mean criteria for the setting up of the what we call MNC. Okay, it chooses the I mean most favorable places, that is proximity to the markets, availability of the labor, and government policies. These three are reasons for the, these three are the criteria for the setup of the I mean setting up of the MNCs. Okay, these are the important questions that may ask in this lesson. The main topic is that, of course, globalization. Then after that, they will focus on MNCs. Then finally on the I mean trade relations. Okay, these are the very important topics that may ask in your exams. Okay, next lesson, that is 11th lesson. Okay, 11th, in the 11th lesson, food security lesson, we will ask me. I mean, we will ask about the what's called PDS. Okay, public distribution system, right? So public distribution is very important, and what we call a survey declared that malnutrition is a dash major problem in India. Sorry, is a major problem in India. Okay, the National Institution of Nutrition. Okay, NIN. Okay, National Institute of Nutrition, that is I mean located in Hyderabad. Okay, we will discuss this topic of course in the what we call mapping section. Okay, and what we call food security means, okay, food security means what nutrition levels, production of food, and availability of food, and all these, and we have to produce the goods, and you have to make it available to the people, and you have to increase the nutrition level of the people. Okay, you have to increase the nutrition level of the people, and you have to produce sufficient food for the people, and we have to what we call make the food available to the people. Well, these three are very important, and these when these three are available, when these three things are achieved, then we call it as a food security. Okay, clear? Then what we call these are not important, these are not important, these are not important, and these are not important, and these are not. Next important question, of course, the supply of food grains for poor people. Dash is supply and PDS. Okay, PDS is nothing but public distribution system, is nothing but it is a what we call supply of food grains. Okay, it's a system that provides food grains to the people. Okay, that will provide food grains to the people. Nothing but we call it as a PDS system. Okay, Antyodaya cards are related to. Okay, Antyodaya cards are related to the persons below the poverty line. Okay, the persons who are below the poverty line, then they will be issued Antyodaya cards. With that Antyodaya cards, they will gain some amount of, I mean, what we call some amount of rice, some amount of wheat, whatever they eat. Okay, they will be given every month. Okay, like Antyodaya card. With the Antyodaya cards, they will be given, I mean, with 35 kgs. Okay, 35 kgs. Antyodaya card holders are entitled to food grains of 35 kgs. Okay, 35 kgs will be given to the Antyodaya card holders. Okay, then next question, very important question. Okay, this a standard of dash calories per day in urban area and 2400 calories in rural area. Okay, in rural areas we need to get we need to have 2400 calories, and in urban areas we need to have 2100 calories. Okay, in urban areas we have to, I mean, it is very important. I mean, about 2,100 calories. But in rural areas, it is important that 2,400 calories are very important for a normal person. Okay, according to the report. And after that, we have important question from what well, these are not important. National Institute of Nutrition located in Hyderabad, of course. Okay, ICDS means integrated child development scheme. Okay, ICDS, what is the definition for abbreviation for ICDS? Integrated child development scheme. Integrated child development scheme is nothing but ICDS. Okay, next after that, FCA means, okay, FCA means what we call Food Corporation of India. Okay, what is it? Food Corporation of India. Then these are the important that may ask in an examination. PDS of course important. The first state that what we call start the midday meal is nothing but Tamil Nadu. Okay, Tamil Nadu is the first state that introduced the midday meal scheme. Then after that, all the states implemented the midday meal scheme. Of course, these are the important. So remember that topic. And these are the important questions that may ask in an examination. So this is the present video. Then remaining part, that is from 12th lesson, we'll make another video, because now it is like 1 hour 10 minutes, right? It is very lengthy. Okay, in the next video we'll cover all the remaining topics. Okay, thanks for watching. Bye bye.